Welcome in YouTube to another video where today I'm going to give you my Black Ops 6 full review. But first, thanks for coming in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can keep up to date with my reviews, with some VODs of my streams. We played The Quarry. We played a couple other games like that. We played Shattered Space, completed that. And we will be playing Dragon Age Veilguard, at least the opening on stream. So make sure you go over to Twitch, subscribe to that channel, and on YouTube, where I'll post those pretty much unedited because that's what I watch. I don't need them to be edited, so that's what you get to watch. So hopefully you like that, and if you do like the video, comment and help support as we continue just to have some fun with this hobby and try to talk about stuff, right? But I digress. Black Ops 6 is amazing. We'll start there. I do want to give my COD campaign history overall real quick. I never have played Black Ops outside of a few multiplayer rounds on a friend's PlayStation. And I was just like, yeah, that's why I don't buy Call of Duty. It reminded me why I don't. So whenever that was around, I think it was Cold War, Black Ops Cold War, the one we hopped into. And it was all right. Not that fun. But yeah, outside of that, the last Call of Duty campaign I've beaten was probably Modern Warfare 2, 3, the original ones. And then I did play the most recent Modern Warfare 3, but I think we want to forget about that one, right? The last campaign, the one that uses Warzone maps, and then ended before it started. Yeah, that was all right. That one was all right. I kind of forgot every story beat about it, but yeah, before you end that, it's just over. Wait, that didn't make sense. Before you start that, it's just is over. So, so I haven't played a ton of Call of Duty campaign. I do not know the story of Black Ops at all. So this was going into it. Definitely had to get caught up in who people were. I didn't understand fully what was going on, but they do a good job of saying enough with the dialogue to just basically hint at, and you can kind of figure out, okay, some shit went down in Panama. He's in Woods, the guy, one of the guys, Woods, from he's been in the series the whole time. He's in a wheelchair now. So something happened in Panama that caused him to be in a wheelchair. I was able to figure that out and understand what they were telling me. So it's not something, I mean, look, these campaigns are like action movies. They're not narratively deep. There's not a lot of things going on outside of, we got to go do the thing. We got to protect freedom. Oh no, we've been betrayed. Watch out. It's good fun. And this campaign overall is fantastic. I think I could say with full confidence that for me, Black Ops 6 campaign is the best first-person shooter campaign since Titanfall 2. And if you played that, you know that's high praise, right? Because Titanfall 2's campaign was such an innovative, creative campaign for a first-person shooter at the time, and unfortunately they released it in fall between Call of Duty that year and between Call of Duty and Battlefield. And then here's Titanfall 2. It just wasn't able to break into the thing, but it is a fantastic campaign. Totally worth going back and playing. There's some really cool elements, specifically one mission in that campaign where you're transporting through two locations at once. Really cool. First time it was done in that regard, and the movement of Titanfall is great. But we're here to talk about Call of Duty. So yeah, like I said, it's one of the best campaigns to me since that time. I truly enjoyed it. I wanted to keep playing more. The missions, I would say overall, the campaign feels like a spy thriller with action movie Mission Impossible style moments. Not so over the top. They all feel justified in a way, so yeah, I truly enjoyed it. There's some missions specifically that do some incredible things, really fun, specifically the mission Emergence. I don't want to spoil much about it. I didn't get it spoiled for me online. I just saw people before I got to it say, whoa, Emergence, one of the best missions I've played in Call of Duty in a long time. Best mission forever, right? A lot of that's just on social media. I was seeing that, finally got to it, and yeah, they were right. Like, it's the things they do to it kind of are surprising. There's some horror elements that truly were spooky and just were fun as you're kind of, if you play the mission, you might know what I'm referencing here, but you're turning around and things are moving and following you. So it's just, it was very fun. That is a highlight for sure, going in blind to that. And I really like how they use other assets from other parts of the games in there. I thought that was a very creative way to get that into the campaign without it feeling goofy. It just makes sense, especially when you're dealing with this time period of the 90s and the KGB and this. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff going on, right? A lot of chemicals that are causing you to hallucinate. I couldn't think of the word hallucinate. Hallucinate and see something. So yeah, absolutely fantastic mission from Emergence. And then another one within the campaign is Hunting Season, which is an open world mission, just like in Modern Warfare 3, where they used the Warzone maps, and you were able to go around the zone, do different objectives. Pretty linear within that, though, unless you jumped out and did something different. But that mission went by very quickly. However, in this one, in the Black Ops 6 one, Hunting Season, it's a map that is made for this mode or for this mission. It's not you reusing a Warzone map. It's using this map that they made for it. It is open world. You get 3 main objectives that are all similar. You just go destroy the thing at 3 different sites. I think it's SAM missiles or something. Either way, you have to go destroy those. But you get this map, you get a vehicle, and you get to roll around, drive around the map, and choose what icons to go. It's full of different secondary options, objectives, and you get to choose those things. And if you go around, I did them all, you do get some stuff from it. You get the ability. One of them gave me the ability to call in airstrikes that would have a cooldown timer. Another one was a mortar strike. So not everything gave you something outside of some gear and such and some armor plates and whatnot. But overall, that mission I thought was very well done. A huge step up from what Modern Warfare 3 campaigns introduced with the open zone missions. This one just felt way more natural within the story, and it just felt better overall. So it was they give you a sniper rifle, and then you could choose any weapon you want. They have a whole armory there for you to grab and restock from. So, I kept the sniper they give you and an LMG, I think. And that was just fun, just to roll up with the Humvee, go over. It's in a desert, so you would have dunes, and then there'd be some rock faces on the other side of the map. But, you roll up to a desert dune, and then you kind of park the car below it. So then you crawl up, snipe the little outpost in that area or whatever is going on. And then you'd be able to drive over and then achieve that. So I like that ability to kind of choose how you wanted to do it. You could just drive right in through and go guns blazing. But, it was very fun. There was one little side objective that you had to protect a helicopter that went down, and you're waiting to get... You're being surrounded by everyone, and that was like, what is that movie? Black Ops or Black Hawk Down, right? Kind of reminiscent of that, where you're stuck in this helicopter and you're kind of fight off people while you're waiting for them to stop coming to you. That's pretty much it. But yeah, that mission, very good. A step up from the open world from Warzone or from Modern Warfare 3 that used Warzone maps. And overall, I enjoyed that mission a lot. I did all the objectives. I wanted to go around, and it didn't feel like a slug to get through, a slodge. It just felt natural. So I think that's a really good in that sense, in my opinion. And then the last 2 missions were interesting because they kind of jumped back and forth. You were doing one thing. I don't want to do spoilers here, just because, if you care about the story, there you go. But the 2 last missions, you're doing one thing and you're in the mind of someone. And then on the outside, you have to protect them, essentially. And the way they go back and forth and kind of how they set that up, I thought that was fun. Again, the way they found to use other aspects of their game within these missions, I thought was very smart. I mean, think about it. These people are being mind controlled to a degree. This is the 90s, so that's kind of what they're talking about here. And I thought they did that well. So I like the last 2 missions a lot, for sure. Now, one other thing about the campaign that I do want to talk about is the Rook, which is your home base of operation. So you kind of get this house where you're able to, I think in the story, it's a former KGB safe house that now we have. And within there, you're in this house, and that's where you're able to every mission, or not every mission, some are back to back, but for the most part, after every mission or two, you're going to the Rook to kind of decompress, right? Relax in this nice mountain cabin. But really, this is your home operation, your base of operations, where you can upgrade different aspects of your gear, weapons, and armor. I think were the three. And they had a ton of different things like increase, your health overall, increase weapon damage, increase or decrease the amount of damage you take from explosives or weapon flinch. There's a couple things, and you buy those through money. So throughout each mission, you can find people with cash. I think the elites have the cash, if I remember correctly. Or you just find them throughout the mission, just lying down. You just find piles of cash everywhere, which is cool. But in the Rook itself, there is a KGB puzzle that you have to solve, which if you take out your black light on the piano, you see some writing. And if you look around the room, they have the clues of what notes to press in what order. Once you do that, it unlocks a door and you go down. And there's a whole other puzzle you have to get the boiler working, which isn't really a puzzle. And then some other stuff. And at the end, you do get $1,000 to use on upgrades. But it's worth it, because that's a lot of money, and it gave you a good start on the upgrades there. But it was fun just to walk around and be like, ooh, there's a little puzzle going on in this area. That was fun, using the black light and such, trying to figure out at one point you have to listen to a radio, and the radio has keywords in the 2 sentences it tells you. And then around the room, you have to use the black light. So if they say lamp, by the lamp, there might be a number. So you have to go around, find 4 numbers that coincide with what's being said on the radio. And then you have to go to the room, enter the number. It's very spy-like, right? Really cool. Now, overall, the other missions were really good. I like the Bill Clinton fundraiser one. It's just still weird to me to see a modern, it takes place in the 90s, right? I wasn't alive in 91. I was born in 95. But seeing Bill Clinton just on the posters as you're walking into this fundraiser event for this mission is just weird. It's fun. It's a little interesting. I feel old now, so that's good. But overall, that mission was fun. I'm trying to think. There's a casino one where you're going to casino and doing a heist within that. That was fun. The way they set up the missions, I thought, were really good overall. I was entertained throughout this campaign, and like I said, I think it's one of the best campaigns since Titanfall 2. If Halo could just do a campaign that can capture this again, God, I would love it. Just the way they went back and forth between more linear to an open world aspect for just one mission, by the way. But the way they all tie together, I really liked it. First person shooter campaign back, baby. Very, very good. Give it a try if you are into that. Really much enjoyed it. Now, talking about the other 2 aspects, zombies. I played about 3 rounds so far of zombies. I'm still in love and a believer that World at War, Nazi zombies was the best iteration of it. Of course, I know people really hearken or block, the other ones later on where they started adding a fuller story, a more robust mode throughout all these things. But I just am in love with the original, where you're in that bunker and they break through the windows and you have to buy to board up the windows again. Man, that was fun. I got to play that again. But overall, I do like this zombies. It does use the level ups from that time, the instant kill and the max armor like that. The sounds are pretty similar to what I remember them being. So there's that nostalgic to it. There's 2 maps in this mode for zombies in this time. There's not Emergence, Terminus, and Liberty Falls. And I did play both of them. I enjoy them. They're cool. I want to get a crew of 4 people so we can actually try to get in depth into it. But the 3 modes I played, I really did like it. And I do appreciate, which kind of goes over the overall review here, excuse me, is that the weapons do upgrade in both multiplayer and zombies. So you're playing zombies. I'm still upgrading the weapons. You know, if I find the one on the wall that I like, it still goes into that. And I do appreciate that. It feels like at least I'm working still on the overall progression. It just feels more like a not completed. It feels more cohesive within that regard because you're able to have things upgrade and you're unlocking things in multiplayer as you level that up. Some of the items each level you unlock go only to zombies through the modes, some different perks and some gumball items, whatever that means. So overall, I do like how the whole package feels a little more cohesive than, all right, now I'm playing zombies and now I'm going into multiplayer. They're separate entities. They feel more as one, which is cool. But yeah, that's kind of zombies. Again, I wouldn't say I played a ton of it. I do want to get a crew of 4, and I think that will kind of help with getting into a grind on that. But now let's talk about multiplayer. Again, I have not been a huge multiplayer Call of Duty fan, even from the old days, right? Playing Modern Warfare 2 and World at War. Wasn't for me. I didn't pour a ton of time into it. I'm a campaign guy. I like that. I was a zombies after that. Multiplayer was always the bottom of the list. However, personally, for the last year, I've been getting more and more into multiplayer games, playing a lot of Halo Infinite, playing a good chunk of Valorant, and then when they added Modern Warfare 3 onto Game Pass earlier this year in 2024, I did play a good chunk of that as well, and kind of was like, all right, I'm getting into it. I'm starting to like it. It's kind of nice weird to say wind down at the end of the night, but I guess wind down. And then hop in with some friends, especially our friend over at Badlands Backlogs, Jaco. Hop in with him, play some rounds. So definitely am going to be playing a lot more multiplayer because overall I am into it. I'm enjoying my time. I'm level 30 right now on the progression. Have not prestige, but I do want to get into that system at least once. I want to get at least one prestige just to do it. I've never even tried to do a prestige. I know it's not that difficult of a thing. You just got to play, right? But haven't done that. Got one weapon to mastery gold. That's fun. Overall, I do think the progression is what's keeping me in a little bit. And I think it's good. It feels like each mission, or not mission, but each round, I feel like I'm making enough progress throughout it where it feels good. The weapons feel decent. The progression behind them are good. When I was playing Modern Warfare 3, it felt like it took forever to upgrade your weapons, to unlock the attachments for it. So the beginning chunk, especially because I joined Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer way later than when it came out, right? But with that progression feeling slower, I just felt like I was at a disadvantage with these weapons, and then I just had to get good a little bit. But with this one so far, I do feel like it's better paced. It feels nicer overall. So yeah, I'm enjoying that. The spawns suck. Every map has issues every now and then with the spawn points where I spawn in and someone's behind me, especially the map Babylon, which I'll have up right now. That one is, I had a tough time, especially in this clip. I was playing hard, or that was the hardcore mode where it's like damage, you have less health or you take more damage, whatever. And you can cause friendly fire, that's the word, and such. Yeah, the spawns on that map were awful. I would just keep getting stuck in this one room. So that's gonna be a thing. I get that, especially when the rounds get later, especially like a team deathmatch where everyone's just everywhere. There's no objective funneling people specific ways, and the maps are small enough where it's not hard just to get everywhere. They drop you in, and all of a sudden, like I'm loading in, and there's people. I'm taking fire already, right? Or I see people shooting into the spawn point. It's like, all right, this sucks. So for the most part, it's not ruining my experience, but every now and then, specifically the smaller maps too, it gets worse. It gets bad at times. But again, not awful to ruin it, just annoying for sure. So hopefully they can kind of tweak that a little bit. But overall, the other maps, I think there's very few that I don't enjoy. The soccer field one, I just haven't been able to play it enough to know it. But I have not enjoyed that map. That's probably the one I would say I don't like. And then there's one with a lot of water, which it just feels a little odd. at times, but I get it. It's not awful. So other than that, I do enjoy the maps overall. And like, yeah, so that's multiplayer. I guess that's all I have to say about the multiplayer. I do see myself playing a bit more. It's going to stay installed overall on my Xbox for now, just because it's new. It's something to play overall. But I'm also just, like I said, enjoying the grind of multiplayer. I do think the rounds are quick enough and everything. So, and the store isn't even updated yet. They're later this week on November 1st. They're adding Nuketown back to the game. I think the store fully opens at that point or later on, and then Warzone gets an update that's tied into Black Ops 6. So we'll definitely be trying that out. And I'm intrigued to see how those progressions work together, because so far, multiplayer, zombies, it all kind of fleshes together very well with progression. So I wonder what Warzone is going to look like too. Are those weapons going to just be upgradable throughout all those three modes of Warzone, zombies, and multiplayer, or not? I don't know. Maybe they already announced that. I missed that. But either way, we'll see, right? Definitely excited to play some Warzone, which I haven't played a ton of. I wasn't a Warzone guy. I wasn't a Battle Royale person. So this will be one of my first that I'm going to try to get consistent with, just for the beginning at least. Or I'm going to get stuck in Dragon Age. But that's something else. That's a different video. So, yeah. So overall, let's give my final thoughts. I think Black Ops 6 is a very good game, and it gets back to what Call of Duty should be and can be, with a very solid, great campaign gameplay wise. The story, I enjoyed the story, but I don't have the emotional tie to the past ones. I didn't play the past Black Ops, so I think some things could have fell flat, or some things could have been weird that I went over my head. I truly enjoyed it overall. Gameplay great, story solid, with some very, very high moments in certain missions for sure. Very high moments. Shout out to hunting season. They figured out open world Call of Duty, and I hope if this is a sign going forward, one mission like this, a campaign, is good. Maybe expand it a little more, you could, but no more. Be careful with that. Be careful. So yeah, campaign great, multiplayer great, very solid at least at times, and zombies is good. So yeah, I think Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is a great entry into the Call of Duty franchise. It got me playing Call of Duty again and for the foreseeable future, and I think this is a good step forward in some of the issues people had, especially with the campaign and with the multiplayer. I think they figure that out. So hopefully we'll see them stay on that path with Warzone and whatnot. And I'm excited for the next Black Ops, because the story ends with a cliffhanger. I don't know who the person is they showed at the end, and I'm not going to say the context of that, but I was like, oh, okay, just a random man. But apparently that means something. So we'll see whenever they get back to that. Raven and Treyarch did have 4 years, an extra year on this cycle. We'll see how Xbox and Microsoft handle that with Activision. Do they want to give their teams more time? Is that just a post-pandemic thing of that delayed our timeline? So we got, we kind of, that extra year helped us, sure up a little bit. Did that really help with the story and overall? Who knows? So we'll see what they plan to do on release schedules. A 4-year cycle seems long for each game, but if this is the level we get, hey, I might be okay with it. So let me know your thoughts down below on Call of Duty Black Ops 6, the campaign, zombie, or multiplayer. Let me know what you think about each and every one of those, or any of them. And make sure you like the video and stay subscribed to the channel as we continue playing games and talking about playing games. My voice cracked, and then I thought of Mark. Time to play the game. Ha ha. Either way, we'll be back on the channel. Dragon Age Veilguard comes out tomorrow at time of recording for me, so expect some coverage on that. I will do a full review of that game whenever I beat it. It is very long, so it's about 50 to 60 hours. Another long game. I still have Persona 3 sitting there too. But either way, expect some coverage on Dragon Age Veilguard. Can't wait for that. And thanks for the support. Until next time, I'll see you.